Hello again there folks, Lone Adventurer here. Thank you very much for stumbling your way upon my channel and joining me for part 4 of my Courier post-apocalyptic adventure. If you have not yet seen the other parts, there'll be a link up in the corner of the screen to part 1 right about now, and links down in the description to all the other parts. There'll also be a link through to Drive-Thru RPG where you can check the game out yourself if you fancy. Now, I think this is going to be the last part of the series, and I'm not really sure if it's going to be anticlimactic, because it's just going to be me carrying on playing a little bit longer. We'll see whether we can get through another full 6 days to experience another end of the world round bit. All depends how quickly I go, really. I think I'm just going to be barreling around quite a bit, because we can't take on contracts at the moment. I think that's the situation. So we're probably going to have to complete a mission. Well, we'll complete some contracts. We'll complete a mission. Maybe we'll take on another mission. Maybe we'll do a bit more exploring. We're only 2 fame points away from victory. So it might be that we win, actually. I hadn't really thought about that, but I guess that is possible, especially because one of the contracts we're about to complete will give us 1 fame. But let's crack on, shall we? We are here in the wastes, and we're going to be going up here. So let's spend an exhaustion and go up into this unaligned settlement. Once we are in the settlement, we're going to spend another exhaustion to do the settlement action, and we're going to be delivering our valid contracts. So let's have a look at those. Our first contract here was from the, what does I stand for again? The Independence. So from the Independence here to where we are right now, to the unaligned, and we are getting 10 scrap and 1 fame for doing that. So we can mark 1 fame up here, and we can increase our scrap to 15. Still quite modest, really. Then we get 2 XP. Maybe we could spend some XP. That could be fun. 2 XP, because that's the size of the cargo that we are delivering. And then we get 1 reputation with the faction that we are delivering from and the faction that we are delivering to. Now, we don't track stuff for the unaligned, so it's just the Independents, so we are going up in their estimation. Then we're going to deliver this other contract, for which we are getting 13 scrap, taking us up to 28. And then the same thing, but that was unaligned to unaligned, so we're not getting any reputation benefit from that, but we are getting 3 XP. That's taking us up to 16. And I just need to rub those contracts out. Okay, I'm still getting used to sitting in this new position in my little games den, and I just realised that using the overhead light was casting a shadow, so hopefully that wasn't too irritating, but I've switched to a different light now, so hopefully it looks a little bit better. I always find lighting to be quite difficult. Don't really know what I'm doing, truth be told. Right, so I've cleaned up the sheet. I've removed the cargo. I have rubbed out some scribblings and the contracts, so that is all clean and done. Now, I'm not too sure what else we're going to do here. We could trade, but it's not like we have a massive amount of scrap, 28. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be doing much else here. Shall we have a quick look at XP? So I can spend 10 XP to increase a stat by 1. That sounds pretty boring, plus my stats started out fairly decent. And we can spend 10 XP to increase HP total by 1. I mean, that is valuable. Or you can spend 50 XP to gain a perk. So perks are expensive. I am miles away from getting a perk. And some of the perks, strong arms, increase your max cargo by 3. I mean, that is incredibly valuable. Wasteland Explorer, gained 1 fame for every 10 locations recorded on the map. So another random one. Bug Basher, +1 harm against all vermin enemies. So those are cool. I guess I won't be spending my XP anytime soon. I'm going to hold on to it, I think. So we're just going to go back out into the wastelands. We're going to make our way down. So we're going to run through a few days quite quickly, I think. And we're going to go to the parking lot to complete our mission. So we are going to leave and head there. When we head into a new location, we need to roll a dice to see if we have an encounter. I think that means we do a 6. So we'll turn to our exploration table. We are in the wastes. It's quite an aggressive shadow there, isn't it? Super tricky to get the lighting right. Let's give that a go. Lighting. Right, so what are we doing? We're rolling a D12. That'd be that one there. A bit of a blank brain moment then, trying to work out which one of the D12 was. Here we go. Where are we? We're in the wastes. So we are experiencing a magnetic storm. Sparks with electricity. And in the storm, we make a find. That's pretty good news. I could have sold some stuff in the settlement, couldn't I? I got a bunch of random stuff. I'd forgotten about that. Alright, next settlement we'll do some selling. That's cool. So I guess we're in the storm and we seek shelter in some kind of, maybe an abandoned building, and we find something. So let's turn to the finds table. I'm just going to put a little sticker in for the loot section there. So we're rolling D20 for the finds. That's the problem with this. I like this little dragon motif on the bottom, but sometimes the dice sort of is slightly embossed and the dice lands on the little dragon motif in such a way that it's not clear what face it has landed on. 12 gives us 2 things. Sweet. So that's just more stuff we can sell, really. I haven't got any room for things. I mean, I could throw away some of the cheaper things and replace with more valuable things if I get them. Oh, 20. Wow. So that's a fusion power cell worth 20 scrap. And 8 is maps and charts worth 3. Well, that's the same as the data device I've already got, but we can replace the currency with the fusion power cell that's worth 20. That is big. Alright, that's all good. Let's push on. Oh, we can't push on. That is the end of the day. So we can rest, but we don't need to for the purposes of gaining HP, but we regain our exhaustion. Still can't really afford any upgrades to my home. I don't know whether I have been sort of unlucky getting scrap or if it is just quite challenging to get scrap and I've got to make a bit more effort. Don't really know. Then we're going to increase that to 2 and we're going to go into the next round. We're going to go down into these wastes here. I thought about going that way, but these wastes are difficulty 1 and down here we're difficulty 0, so it makes sense to get down. And remember, I'm moving over here to the parking lot. So let's roll a die to see whether we have an encounter. Yes, we do. Alright, so we're still in the wastes. D12 to see what happens. 7. A highway full of disabled vehicles. And we have a combat encounter, so we're making our way through this highway. And suddenly out from behind an old truck on its side, we see an enemy. And it is some kind of mutant. And I now know how to deal with mutants, although that does sound quite intimidating. I'm not sure fighting a mutant is something I'm going to be able to do. But we need to turn to the faction details. And here in the Mutant Alliance, hopefully it tells us how strong it's going to be. Yeah, I mean, I can't see the information here, so I still don't really know how to deal with mutants. I think I did see Cody mention it online somewhere, so the information is out there, and maybe it's in a FAQ somewhere as well. Yeah, I'm a bit vague on it. I'm a bit vague. We're just going to try again for something else, something that needs perhaps a little of clarification there, I think. Unless I'm missing something obvious. Vermin. Okay, so we're facing some vermin. Oh, I found it. I found the mutant. I was just flicking past and we've got this faction encounters table. And Mutant Alliance, you're facing a brute, which does 1d8 plus X damage. At least we're in a 0, so I feel like I should probably face this dude. I mean, I think I'm going to have to run away, because he has 1d6 protection, and we are still only doing 1d4 plus 1 harm. So I think I'm going to be running away. And he's got another keyword, which is pursue. That sounds bad news, doesn't it? That sounds bad news. An enemy with pursue does not allow players to retreat. If I were to end up in a combat situation with this mutant and I cannot retreat because it's able to pursue me, I'm pretty sure that would be the end of this character. However, flicking through, I've just noticed this section on sneaking. A player may attempt to avoid a combat entirely by performing an agility test done at the very start of the combat before either side performs an attack. On success, the player ends combat with no rewards, but counts as a success. So that's a success for XP, I think. I guess. Otherwise, what else would it be? So we're going to have a go at sneaking. And I fancy my chances fairly highly. Famous last words. Agility, so we're trying to roll 11, 12, 13, plus 1 for the helper bot. So 14. We're trying to roll 14 or less. 4. So that is a success. We were able to sneak past the mutant, and that counts as a success. So I guess we gain XP equal to the mutant's HP, which was X plus 5, so 5. So that's pretty big. Being able to sneak past this mutant has given us 5 XP, taking us up to 21. And I think we can just carry on. That should have taken an exhaustion moving into here. We're going to move this way into the wastes again. 3 means we are not having any encounter. That was another exhaustion moving there. Then we're going to move down this way into this vegetation area. Are we going to have an encounter? Yes, we are. 9. That means we have come across a giant mutated tree. 4 is a skill test. 8, a charisma test. I suppose there is some kind of strange old hermit, that's what I'm thinking, who has taken on the mantle of protector of the mutant tree. And I'm looking to shelter from the sun for a little bit and rest beneath this weird mutant tree. And I need to charm this dude. So let's turn to the skill test section. Now, skill test, what was it? Charisma. So I've got to roll 15 or less. 12. That was on 12. All good. So that is a success. We're going to roll D4 to see what benefit we get. 3, 1 thing. So this dude likes us so much, he's giving us, or offering us at least, some bullet casings and primers with a scrap value of 1. But we let him know that you should hold on to those. He might need them. We certainly don't right now. And we're going to move... Oh, we've got a settlement there. But we do want to go to the parking lot and complete the mission first, I think. So we'll go down into this vegetation. Do we have an encounter? No. No, we don't. That was our last exhaustion, so that is the end of the day. We rest, regain our exhaustion, move the time tracker. Maybe we will get through enough rounds in this video by the looks of things. We're moving a little bit quicker now that we've already revealed stuff. Right, new day. We're going to move over into the parking lot and we are, I guess, completing the mission. Yeah, so what was it? We just had to rest, didn't we? Travel to and rest. Okay, so we've done that and now we need to return to the place where... so we need to return to where the mission was given to us. So maybe it was like a... I don't know, like a reconnaissance mission. They wanted us to just go and investigate this parking lot to see whether there was anything suspicious over there or anything worth noting. Anyway, we did that. And now we're going to keep on moving. We're moving over into this vegetation. Any encounter? Yes. So this is in the vegetation. 1. A dense wall of foliage is in our way. And we're having a combat encounter. And it is with some vermin. Hopefully that'll be a bit easier than mutants. Here we go. Are we going to get... Can we have an enemy that I might be able to defeat in combat? How about that? That would be nice. 2. A radiated rodent. That sounds defeatable, doesn't it? So X plus 2 HP, and the X, remember, is the difficulty of the current hex, which is 0. So it's only got 2 HP and a 7 fight. Now it does give radiation if it does harm, but this is an enemy I can defeat, surely. So we go first. We're doing a fight roll for the attack. Here we go. What's our fight again? High. 16 plus 1, 17. I feel like my fight is too high, but then I've failed to actually fight anything. 20! Hilarious. So that is a fail. But I do have something, don't I? What do I have? My PDA buddy may re-roll combat skill test once per combat. 1. So that is a success. Remember, we're rolling under for our skill tests, and that means we can do damage. So we're using our pistol. 1d4 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. This radiated rodent has only got 2 HP, so it is defeated. We don't get any reward, but we will get some XP equal to the HP of the enemy. So that's 2. So up to 23 XP. Fantastic. Well, it's not, it feels good to defeat an enemy. I'm not going to get too carried away, but that's nice. We're going to move over here into this vegetation. Are we going to have an encounter here? No, we are not. And that is the end of the day. So we're going to recover our exhaustion. We're going to move that on 1. And we're going to carry on. And we're moving into this settlement now, this independent settlement. And this is where we took on that mission. So we are now completing the mission, I guess. So we gain XP equal to the total scrap reward. And actually, the XP is starting to come in a bit now, isn't it? Because that's 7. That's taking us up to 30 XP. We're not that far off of getting a perk, really. And obviously we're getting 7 scrap. So that's up to 35. All right, and then let's just have a look at the settlement action. Oh, so we paid 1 to move into here, didn't we? And then we need to pay 1 to do the settlement action. We still can't get contracts because that is the deal at the moment for this round. So we can trade. Trade allows for the buying and selling of things in a settlement. A player buys or sells up to the difficulty level of the settlement plus 1. So we can buy or sell 4 things. Right, so we know the value of some of these things that we are selling. Oh, they're sold for half the scrap cost rounded up. Right, so we're selling the fusion cell for 10, and we're selling the data device for 2, so that is 12, taking us up to 47. And then we can do 2 more things. We can sell the repair manuals for another 4, up to 51. It's starting to look a bit more healthy now in terms of the cash in our pocket. Now, we can sell our jumpsuit now and put on the reinforced duster. So a jumpsuit has got a cost of 0. I didn't realise that. We could have just chucked it and put our duster on straight away. So you can't get anything for a jumpsuit. Right, I've made an executive decision. I'm going to sell the duster because it's worth 60. So we would get 30 for that, taking us up to 81 scrap. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the duster, I'm not sure it's that much of a bargain. It gives you 1d4 plus 2, so a minimum of 3 protection. So that is very good. Well, that is definitely good. Definitely better than what we got. But what we've got is the jumpsuit, and that gives us plus 1 charisma, plus 1 agility. and the reinforced duster does -2 max cargo. So that would take my maximum cargo down to 4. So if I had greater cargo capacity right now, maybe I can consider it. But I think going down to 4 cargo is just not worth it. So that's 4 things sold. So that's all the selling and buying we can do. So we can't spend any of our money right now, which is a bit of a shame. But there you go. Should we take on another mission while we're here? So missions is all the way at the back. There is a page explaining missions, and then the mission creation is not with that page. Now I think the intention here was to back end as many of the tables as possible, so the tables are all near the back. But I guess that's a decision to be made by the designer. I think it's fair enough now that I know where it is, but it took me a while to find these things earlier on. So we're rolling a D20 to find out what the mission is. 20. Transport, travel. So this is literally just travelling to another location. I've just realised I was supposed to rest, wasn't I, to complete the previous mission. I was supposed to rest in the parking lot, and I didn't do that. I just went there. Oh well, never mind. Location type, where are we heading? 8. To some wastes. Distance 3+. So it's got to be some wastes, at least 3 away. Should we mark this on before we go any further? So we need to remove the old mission, and we need to roll to see what our reward will be. 11. That gives us LD, less location difficulty, plus 1d8. 6, plus the location that I've chosen, this one here, so it's going to be 7 scrap. And so I've written that the mission is to travel there, and the other keyword we were given there was transport, so maybe we are transporting something important for the independent faction. Starting here, heading there, and I put a little swirly whirly symbol to represent my target, and we've got a reward. I'm not sure there's anything else I want to do here, so we will head out. Moving is going to cost an exhaustion. We are not having an encounter. End of the day, we'll regain our exhaustion. That tracker goes up to 5, and we will carry on into there. Any encounter? No. Alright, that was pretty speedy, that mission completion. And then we are there. Then we need to go back. But I don't think I'm going to do that. In fact, I don't think I'm going to do that on camera. We're just going to have a little bit of explore. We might reveal some new locations. We might head over into that settlement, actually. But moving in there cost 1. Hang on, should I have done that twice? I think we started there, so that was twice. So we'll keep the mission for the time being. We're going to head over here. So we are going to roll to find out. So 1 exhaustion to move into this location. Let's find out what type of location that is going to be by rolling a d12. 4. Vegetation. 11, that means there's 4 of them. And 11, that means it's difficulty 3. That's pretty bad news. So vegetation, difficulty 3, and we need 4, so we'll go up there, and down there. Are we going to have an encounter in this location? No, we are not. That's the end of the day. If I've made a mess of it there somewhere, never mind. In terms of the tracking of exhaustion, I feel like I might have done. Regain the exhaustion, up to 6, and we're going to go into this new settlement. Moving in costs 1, and then doing the settlement action costs another. And what we're going to do here, I think it's probably just going to be a bit of trading. I've got quite a lot of money. Well, it feels like a lot of money. Probably when I look at the cost list, I'm going to realise that it's not actually that much. So the items table on page 54. Okay, so we can buy items, we can buy gear, we can buy weapons and protection. Items, gear. These are going to be the interesting ones, I think. Or I mean, a weapon could be useful. So the best weapon we could afford, if we spent all our money, would be a powered fist, which does 1d10 damage. A ranger's rifle we could get for 50, plus 1 harm to enemies without protection, 1d8. I think, do you know what, I don't think I'm going to look any further than that. I think I just like the idea of being able to fight things more effectively. So the old pistol has got a value, so we'll keep the old pistol and we're going to purchase a ranger's rifle. Now I've got to be careful here because the old pistol gives us +1 fight and the ranger's rifle does not. So we need to take our modifier away there. So this is taking me down to 31 scrap. Money well spent though, I think. Ranger's rifle, 1d8 damage. And yeah, I think that is nice. I mean, we've still got 30. I don't think there's going to be anything else I want that I can afford right now. Really, I feel like being able to increase my cargo. See, look, a courier's cart, max cargo +5, that only costs 30. So we could get that. I mean, that would make a big difference, but I think we can always buy that in the next settlement because we can't take on a contract right now, and if we take on a contract in another settlement, then we can just buy that if we need to. So we can just buy that when we want, I guess. Fabulous. Right, so we're going to move on out, I think. I'm going to be heading back to where we started this mission down here. I don't think we're going to get there on camera. We're going to move there. Do we have an encounter? Yes, we do. So this is a vegetation encounter. 11, a boggy marshland, humid and stinky. 3, a skill test. What kind of skill test? 9, a fight test. That's not a combat, we're just doing a fight test in this boggy marshland. So I guess we come across some nondescript enemy that we just have to put down quickly in this boggy marshland. Our fight is 15 plus 1 for our helper bot. 8, that is a success. 2, 1 loot. Have a look at the loot table, could be something handy. 20, a wasteland ration. On rest, restore +1 HP and rads. I guess that means you regain 1 HP and you reduce your rads by 1. Presumably you're not restoring your rads. That would not make sense. Right, that was our last exhaustion being used there. So it's the end of the day and it is the end of the round as well. So the world timer is on 6, which means we reveal a new world event. I'm going to roll 1d20 to see what that is. So the cargo shortage is now over. I'll rub out the note that I wrote myself about that. And now 13, mutant migration. Mutant wildlife is migrating across the region. All combat encounters are monsters with a +1 HP bonus. Okay, so I'll just make a little note of that. Then we're going to roll for faction progress for revealed factions. That's right, so we roll a dice and then on a 4, 5 or 6 they progress. So we're going to start with the Wasteland Coalition. No, they are not progressing. Then the Independents. They are progressing and they are aggressively progressing. So 6 means 2 points. This is the Independents. It means that they have now finished their established trade routes target. It also means they're going to increase their control. We'll come back to the goal in a second. So I'm going to start up here. 4 means 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are controlling this place. So I'm going to put an I there. And then the next one round as well. So they now control. I think maybe it'd be nice to sort of like colour it in or put like a different colour outline around each one. But I think probably factions can take locations from each other, so maybe you can't do that. So these three here are now controlled by the independents. Don't think we have any other independent settlements. Nope. So let's see what their goal is all about then. So their goal is to establish trade routes, 3 progress, +1 scrap rewarded for all independent contracts completed. So that's pretty handy. So that was the independents. Then we've done the Wasteland Confederates, or whatever they were called. We need to do the Raiders. Are the Raiders progressing? Yes, they are. They are very much progressing. And actually, their faction goal has just progressed as well, or completed, rather. So let's just do their territory gain. So we've got a couple of Raiders places. We've got the farmstead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one here is going to become Raiders. Have we got a couple of Raiders places or just one? Maybe it's just one. I think maybe I should have used a colour pen for something, because I'm finding it hard to track which is which. Then the Raiders are also taking on that place as well, because it's 2. It's not that one. It's the parking lot. Is the parking lot Raiders already? Because I've put R. Why have I put R in? Because I use square brackets for the type. Ruins. It's R for ruins. R for ruins there. R for Raiders there. Getting a little teeny weeny bit complicated. Right, but the Raiders is done. Let's have a quick look at their target, wherever it is. So that first objective is to steal weapons and armour, +1 power to Raiders. So the Raiders have moved from 1 power to 2 power. We'll go pencil for that. And then they're going to move on to their next target, which is fight for leadership. And that's got 3 progress points for that goal. And is that it? We've done the independence. No, it's not it, is it? It's the last one is the Strand Institute, I believe, which is that one there. Are they progressing? No, they are not. Then we need to pay to keep our helper bot, and I think we will again. I think I might be in the mood to try a new companion soon. Actually, we'll let the helper bot go. We'll let the helper bot go, and we'll try for a new companion. I say that, I think I'll be finishing that up off screen because I've recorded quite a lot of this game now, and I think it's probably time to call it a day. Hope you enjoyed that, folks. It's another great little game from Sleepy Sasquatch Games from Cody Bar. A really nice looking edition, well laid out, an awful lot of game for such a slight little zine booklet. I think you'll agree is more to it than meets the eye, and it's actually quite complex. We never got to the point of looking at the world sparks, which is a whole other section at the back that allows you to add flavour and distinction to your particular wasteland. So it looks like here we've got like some additional details about each of the factions, so you can roll if you have a Raiders faction, maybe and you roll here for a 3, they are the Inferno, the flame-touched, self-destructive. They're all about material possessions, and their object is to gain weapons, and they have a cave hideout. So that's kind of cool. We've got a bunch of those. Oh, okay, so it's all the flavour is added to the factions there. But it's a game that encourages you to use a little bit of creativity, to apply your imagination here and there to flesh the world out and fill in the gaps. But it gives you a lot of structure and support as you are playing. It really is a complete game, and it's one that I like and I am glad to be bringing to a wider audience. Hope you enjoyed this playthrough series, folks. It's been fun to play. Hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did playing it. I'll see you in the next one, and bye for now.